Good evening, Free Enterprise, and welcome to another night of Free Enterprise here. I'm Nightdew, alongside my co-commentator, Invenerable. I don't think I've ever got to talk with you once. How you feeling tonight?
Hey, doing all right. It's good to be on comms with you. I feel it's been a Zima zone or two since we were last in the booth together. Glad we're here for a pretty spicy match. What are you thinking about these two?
Absolutely. Kind of going over you with the win-loss records and how they both got here was definitely a little interesting in. Excuse me. In terms of StupidSecksyFlanders, I haven't really seen many of the matches there. Did come out wins against Aegis, Indorwa, and Kedril with only one loss to Zoe Vermilion. Man, my notes are crap.
Or
Right now.
Stupid Sexy Flanders' one loss was to Simbu, who opted to bow out of the tournament rather than continue. And Zilch's one loss was to Zoe Vermilion, and that was due to her taking a very spicy keyless tower play. So each of our racers here have some really good quality wins, and I'm sure they're looking to still prove themselves in light of those losses.
Oh, absolutely. And to be fair, this is the Magma route, and from what we've already seen of it, it's still the Murderer's Row. We pretty much predicted it to be. There have been a lot of excellent matches. There, the 2-0 and 1-1 groups are going to be just absolutely stellar here. Kind of looking at the objectives here. Don't know if they're going to want to do that keyless tower with the destroy the super cannon on the list of objectives here.
Yeah, you're gonna try to not double dip it if you can help it, but sometimes it's the spicy play that gets the dub. I'm looking at that vanilla crystal sword altar. I just like seeing a seed where Moon is not completely irrelevant.
Well, we hope at least. I've had a couple practice seeds, a lot of them recently, that have given me a moon objective and given me a very early forge as well. They're like, yeah, we're just kidding about the moon here. However, with the Tower of Zot, we are probably going to get to play everybody's favorite game of Raid That Treasury, very likely at least.
Oh yeah, with T Wildish on, the Troya Treasury is stacked. You can find amazing things there. It'll be pretty fun if we get there. We are about to get started. Just a reminder that on Restream tonight we do have Poydrak and X-Pancraz is handling the tracking. So huge shout outs to them for doing all the behind the scenes work. And yeah, ought to be a good race. Here we go. That Sid start. I think on these flags you're always hoping for an edge partner, right, Nightdew?
Absolutely. Just so you can get things moving very quick. I mean, Sid's not bad. Edward, not so much unless By gets handed over a spoon. That is a spicy crystal ring, however. That's a nice piece of gear.
Oh yeah, fantastic magic defense, some good status protections, and speeds you up, which if Sid is going to be your overall DPS, you can definitely use it.
Yeah, absolutely. With this, though, I believe we're probably just going to see our runners go off to the races in terms of looting and character checks fairly quickly. While we do hope we can maybe get a spoon word engaged, it's still a little sometimes hard to keep an Edward around for that long for.
I'm curious though, it's really nice to get the early edge on this flag set because just of how much damage he dishes out, but Sid's no slouch at getting you through the first couple of overworld spots. Are you someone who would go straight for Mysidia here, or would you be more inclined to go Damsian, Antlion on that route and see if you just get one along your way?
Going through these flags, I have definitely found a lot of value. Like you said, Edge speeds these opening checks up so much that it kind of feels like you need to check the Mysidia here. We do find a Yong and another Sid. That's actually pretty spicy there because, like you said, Sid is probably the second best character you can find here. Mainly because Tella hasn't hit ordeals just yet. We do also find Star Veils in that Mysidia item shop as well.
Yeah, that's kind of the tricky thing, and this is why even on the table flags, like, I hate going to any town check too soon, just because I don't want, like, you don't want to double dip. We were talking about the Tower of Babel, not wanting to double dip it to check your to check your 2-key item checks. I hate double dipping towns, especially when there's a chance that one of them will have something I really want to buy in the long run. You know, Silk Webs, Star Veils, you know, even something like Cure 2 potions if we don't find a white mage. I hate the double dip of towns if I can help it.
Now here we have an interesting play here. Zilch decided to ditch the second Sid, and Yang is running straight for Evelyn Castle, while Flanders is going straight for objectives here with those two Sids, which should be able to overpower anything in there with the little difficulty even in base equipment. Did see another crystal ring on Zilch's side there.
Yeah, and making it through the entire middle section without getting an encounter. Get some nice things. A Vampire J item, a Blizzard Spear if we find a Cane. I know Zilch early in the tournament said that he really likes the idea of looting hard in the paint early so that you don't have to do as much later in the game. And he definitely made it through there unscathed. Is he? Oh, going back for seconds. Back to the Evelyn buffet for a second helping. I mean, any trap chest here is going to force a reset with this team.
Oh yeah, that's definitely interesting with all three trap chests. Oh, there's one right there. With all three trap chests at large. I might have just taken my winnings there, especially because we have seen the Watery Pass actually just pay out so well in these flags. Anyway, we did find a very early leg in the Antlion Cape. A ninja hat, there's a nice thing.
Ruby giving an Avenger. Oh baby, we've not seen a Cane yet, the only character who could currently equip it, but we still have several free spots to check. There's Damsian, there's Watery Pass. I would even count Hobbs as mostly free since we do have double Sid action going on here with the Hammer Time. Find someone to swing that sword, and you don't even need an edge for the overworld.
Oh, absolutely. The Avenger changes your routing so much that your Cane can take anything on the overworld with just that sword at base level. Almost anything.
So Zilch has found two of the treasure chests. Two of the trap chests. It won't surprise me to see a final dip here, just because there's only one to go. It's not like you're going to really struggle through this East Tower. There's always a chance it's in like the final chest as well, so you get to go through unscathed anyway, as long as you're attentive.
Absolutely. It's and doesn't look like T-Sparse really hit it too hard. Did get a set of Poison Claws for a potential Yang as well. Did get a Coffin, a Bacchus, and a Siren. Meanwhile, I think Flanders just pulled a Cursed Ring out of the Damsian Treasury, so we won't need to go looking for that either.
Damsian Treasury, to me, better than pretty much everything Zilch got there in like, although there's gear that Zilch picked up there that does more damage, can give you added defense, that Cursed Ring is so incredibly vital that I rank Damsian higher than Evelyn just right there. Like, that's a huge thing to spawn there. And it's even better given that we are still on standard shops. Standard shops means that Cursed Ring can be in any armor shop in the game. I don't want to check every armor shop in the game if I can help it. So it's real nice to just find that in a routine location.
Meanwhile, our seed definitely seems to be slanted heavily towards our high HP tanky units. We have found what looks like 3 Sids and 2 Yangs already to go along with this Edward, so not much in the way of magical power at all being tossed around this seed. Just a lot of people who can take a few hits.
Yeah. And though Flanders may not realize this, if I were in his shoes, I would be very thankful that that Crystal Sword altar is one of my objectives. Zilch is very good at using kind of unique and niche Zeroma strats, whether it's Eddie strats, he's worked on the 2-character 1200 HP strats. He actually pioneered the 1-character 1200, not nearly as fast as the 2-character 1200. But Zilch, with early Zeroma's access, will kill him with basically a paperclip and a handful of matchsticks. So you want the long game if you're facing off against Zilch.
Absolutely, and while you were saying that, we didn't see Sid number 4 in the bed at Kaipo.
I mean, better than struggling through the overworld with, a whole bunch of 30 HP and 60 HP characters,
I mean, yeah, maybe the 60 HP one. That 30 HP one's halfway decent. I say this because I saw the Soul Summon somewhere already.
Touche. Absolutely.
Yeah, Sid's in the Kaipo bed is the fourth Sid you're looking at there. But I would definitely... We still haven't seen the Baron in. Nobody's checked that, although with 3 Sids and 2 Yongs, why not?
I mean, there's still plenty of fights there that can just punch you. We do have some pretty good defensive gear, like we see here Zilch putting on that crystal ring and that ninja hat. That alone makes you for a very beefy thing, let alone that you can back row glitch Sid with any bow and arrow, which we have found.
Yep.
And it won't surprise me to see those ice arrows coming back out in a very short moment when he sees the boss here. And okay.
Yeah. And,
or just leave them on.
that too. I mean, I don't know the accuracy of a wooden hammer off the top of my head, but...
Yeah, it's not ideal. The Elven bow, on the other hand, has the highest base accuracy of any of the endgame bows. Very nice. You put it on your middle slot, and you're going to have even better accuracy with that plus 25% bonus. I think that middle Sid is about to have this leg take an arrow to the knee.
Oh, that's his fault for putting that leg so far out there.
Although,
Okay.
Fun fact, Ruby does not have an ice weakness until the first time he opens his cape. At the very opening of the fight, no ice weakness.
Oh, I did not know that, actually, so...
No ice absorb either. He absorbs it after he first closes his cape. Yeah, huge damage difference there. You can see the multiplier go into effect. Yeah, a cute little thing we discovered back during the 2v2 Twinvitational a couple years ago when Pidge01 threw an Ice 2 at Ruby, and before his cape even opened, and he didn't absorb it. Didn't take double damage, but didn't absorb it either, and that made us look a little more in-depth at the script.
There we go. There's somebody I'm sure Flanders is very happy to see on the top of Mount Hobbs there. Getting your source of white magic, getting your source of berserk, getting somebody in that plague that, hey, that bow and arrow's gonna work wonders on.
Oh yeah, Rosa, a fantastic addition to the team. Will not learn Exit naturally. Will learn Berserk a little later than Porum. But HP growth, learning Cure 3 and Cure 4 at reasonable times. Doing great damage with that aim command, making even a crappy bow have perfect hit rate. You love to see her this early.
And Flanders did get that Star Veil up immediately, so that top Sid will be bouncing those counts for the rest of the fight, so no even worries about dropping down to the count here. So can take, not all the time in the world, but quite a lot of the time.
Yeah, but Zilch, meanwhile, having the slightly better DPS-oriented team, not having those low-powered Yongs taking up turns, already tears through Plague. I don't need a Star Veil. I got the deeps.
Yeah, Yang is an investment and takes a while to kick in unless you find something weak to those elemental claws very early. That's going to help, however, as we do have a power robe on the back of Hobbs.
Yeah, and that poor lonely Avenger longing, like, you found my shirt, you found my favorite shirt, why can no one wield me?
Well, I mean, we still have one, that's actually 2 free character checks. We haven't seen Baron in, we haven't seen Mount Ordeals, although with this party, Ordeals is not exactly looking very, not very, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Lucrative?
Yeah, that's the one. No Cecil to paladinize, no Tella to make remember everything.
Yeah, but we do still get 3 shots out of D-Mist. We get 2 very easy fights. Really only the back attack one there is of any danger. And a lot of XP. Plus, like you said, that character check. Admittedly, on these flags, you frequently don't have a real compulsion to go there. You usually have some good strength through other sources. But right now, the character part is really the thing that piques my curiosity.
Yeah, Did Zilch actually skip? Well, no, they both went to Hobbs. We all saw them in the plague fight.
Yeah, they've both done Antlion, both done Hobbs. Each has done a little bit of different looting.
Yeah. Meanwhile, somebody really took it out of all the extra chests out of the mini treasury in Troy, and not much to be seen there other than a flame whip and a grimoire.
Yeah. Although that grimoire wouldn't be the worst thing for this Mylon and gas fight that Zilch is facing off with. No real meaningful Oh, never mind. He found a firebomb.
That'll do it. Especially with
Fire...
high HP SIDS.
Yeah, it's so fantastic. It's going to do bonus damage to the gas who are fire weak, and it's based off of your current HP. So a 900-ish HP Sid, throwing that cleans up. Very nice sweeping of the fight. Way to pay attention to what is in your inventory.
Yeah, I love those firebombs, especially with this party. Did find dwarf axes in the Troya weapon shop. Does look that Flanders wants to be picking up that. Meanwhile, we get our first key item finally out of the full defense, which is a rock.
I mean, it's half of one of our potential objectives. And like you said, if you can avoid spawning that big well, you save so much cutscene time. And again, Zilch doesn't mind going to this Threemus fight with low levels if we don't find a good source of sirens or grinds here on the Earth.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where if you know them, you just have that large advantage there in terms of not having to find that grind if... I cannot talk today.
I feel like that little froggy friend in Silvera was taunting our runners a little bit. It's like, hey, did you know the Avenger's two-handed? And meanwhile, yes, we know. We have one. I'm aware of how the Avenger works, Frog. Leave me alone.
I mean, just all we need to do is, I'm sure that somebody else needs to be able to use that Avenger. Somebody like Rosa. I'm sure she can use that sword, right?
I mean, I have made the weapon swap before from Artemis arrows plus a good bow into the Avenger, just because you retain your dragon multiplier.
That's an interesting take there.
Yeah, the Avenger. It's not just for melee weapons. You can swap over to it from anything your Kane or Cecil can equip.
Meanwhile, meeting up on Hobbs and somebody very spicy for not Hobbs but Ordeals here.
Oh yeah, you wanted a reason to climb down Ordeals? There's one for you. Would you like to learn pretty much every utility spell in the game? Yes, please. StupidSecksyFlanders still holding on to these two Yangs, though. Yang is so good on flag sets where you have very limited loot, you're not finding big hit and sticks for the rest of your team. He's just so level-based and doesn't care about much else, but that means you're not getting him online for a while.
You're not getting him online there. I do like me a Sid, first off. I do find that Sid's weapon selection, other than the bows, does have a bit of a weakness in terms of its hit rate there. And I can see why you would possibly hang on to the Yongs, but again, like you said, they're so level-based that they're just going to take a little bit to get online here, even with all those Poison Claws, because I think I saw Flanders equipping those Yongs with those Poison Claws. You just need to start building their strength about as fast as you can, or, like I said, get those Elemental Claws and hope that you find something that you can hit weakness with.
Oh yeah, Thunderclaw here would be great against both Balnab and then against Luge Z. But also good. Lightning Arrows, any hammer. Zilch here is tearing it up with these Lightning Arrows through the fight so quickly.
Yeah, the Yongs are going to be the long game for Flanders here, but Zilch has definitely got the DPS advantage here with that.
Back attack.
Speaking of things that lightning arrows work well on.
Shockingly nasty here, though. The Sid's having high HP is a little bit of a liability here. The big wave will do a little bonus damage that you'll have to heal through. And the magic attack at this spot's no slouch either. The Ice 2's coming out will also be a little threatening.
Yeah, Now, I did think I saw at least one piece of Dragoon armor drop, and that will at least cut those Ice 2s in half if they happen to target the Sid that's wearing it.
Yeah, and that middle Sid with the power shirt and the lightning arrows, oh my goodness, tearing through this Leviathan's HP.
Oh yeah, every Sid in this Flanders, every Sid in both of these are back road here, to answer the question in chat.
Oh, gosh. The damage that you can get out of an Elven Bow and a Lightning Arrow. Zilch here really leveraging those elemental and racial advantages of every weapon to tear through these ordeals fight. I'm very interested in how Flanders is going to handle that Leviathan fight without these similar toolkits.
Yeah, it's gonna have at least one Sid, and I'm not sure if either of those Yongs will be able to take an Ice 2 to the face. Now, we do have Star Veils, and those can reflect back onto Leviathan, and Leviathan does not heal to his own Ice 2s, but...
The saddest fight I've ever done was, well, the saddest fight in recent memory was at Antlion Cave with two very weak characters, and popping both my Star Veils to let Leviathan help me out, the tune of like 75 damage Ice 2s reflected.
Ooh.
It did not spark joy.
Now this is interesting. We have dolls, and there's only 1,000 hit points split between them all. So...
Yeah, I think a second Notice here takes care of this. We may not have that Firebomb anymore, but I think that even picking up this stack of J items is going to save Zilch a lot of time here as well.
Yeah.
Or not.
Oh, nope, there's a big doll.
That was like 4 HP short. That's so rude. Oh, did you know that the big doll counters elemental attacks?
We do now.
Luckily, Wave, not threatening here, does 4% of the doll's current HP, and this is the Dark Knight Cecil spot. It doesn't have that much.
No, not at all. I find it interesting that the big doll does have a counter like that for when your vanilla team, I believe, is Cecil, Kane, Yang, and Rosa. Rydia does not show up until the next fight, so...
Right, so you would have to, if you wanted to activate that counter in the Japanese version of the game, you would have to have gotten a J item drop that does elemental magic damage, and then use it there. We did get a Baron key, by the way. That's very convenient. Zilch has not done the Baron in yet. We've not found a way underground yet, either. So this kind of lets you do like a one single trip. What I said about hating double dipping towns, this means Zilch can pretty much do all of Baron in one go, maybe not the Odin spot. But this team, especially with that Tella online, should be able to handle most fights in the castle.
True, and yeah, any fight in the castle should be... I'm trying to remember what we saw hand over the first item, and I cannot remember the life of me already.
Yeah, I
know
completely looked through it. Anyone in chat? Vanilla Bigan. Well, that's why it was so forgettable.
Oh, yeah, that'll do. Yeah, but nobody has seen this Baron character yet. So, you know, we have one more real big shot at Avenger Kane here.
Yeah, I really would love to see a Kane or a Cecil here. Normally you'd think you'd like to see an Edge on these flags, but right now, I want to put that Avenger and Power shirt on a character and not have to think for the next 20 minutes of gameplay.
Yep. I don't even care if that's a hook. You won't really have to think about it. However, just like you said, Bigan really kind of proven to be a little bit of a... Oh, gonna throw that Grimoire, actually. Might be exactly what they need. Speaking of vanilla here...
Hey, can Porum use an Avenger and a Power shirt? I think if you put the Power shirt on a character, they should be able to use any weapon they darn well please. That's my new...
Makes sense. It's the Power Merit Award?
Yeah, it's the Merit Award, exactly. No, you don't need skill to use a weapon, you just need upper body strength, right? Same thing with a Heroine Robe. You put a Heroine Robe, Merit Award. Wield what you want. Let's go. Put it in there, board. Also, really? Double vanilla Baron in?
Well,
that's wild.
Are we sure that Dathis is in the background took over Boydrak's machine and rolled this seed.
Who's Dathus? No, all respect to Dathus, does a lot of work with the Restream team. I just think it's funny that in the vast majority of randomizers, when something ends up in a vanilla location, everyone curses the dev's name. Dragon Warrior Rando fans, for instance, are very familiar with going, McGrew! Zelda 1 are like, Fred! And here we're like, Dathus! Instead of Board. I guess that's because Board is more interested in actually murdering our party, so that's where he gets the credit, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking here. Oh my, there's our hook, by the way. But yeah, board AI is just for, when the monsters murder our party, as opposed to the randomization, right?
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be.
And, ooh, so you have that hook. You have a reliable source of exit. This is S standard, so the shops in Eblin Cave are amazing. Are you going to go peek Eblin, or are you going to go ahead and commit to Baron while you're here?
I'm going to check that Baron weapon shop and armor shop, because that's a gated shop. However, with my party as it is at the moment, probably going to start diving. Yeah, I'm probably going to take that hook route, especially with all that juicy loot sitting on the path to Cave Evelyn and Tower Babil.
Yeah, it's definitely a gamble that you have to choose here. I would, especially if you're seeing ninja blades there, you would love to see an edge. You know that if you want to, you can come right back here, sell the family farm, buy 2 of those, and he will tear through the entire rest of the seed. Samurai bow there for sale also wasn't that bad. We have the elven bow already. Put a samurai bow on the Rosa. She doesn't care about accuracy.
Yeah.
But the Avenger power shirt, we do get a character from Baron while we're here. So, I don't know, the temptation is real.
I can see both plays. It's more the Bigan that's kind of turning me a little away here. I mean, Zilch should be able to handle it, no problem, but...
Yeah, luckily Bigan at Bigan, not the worst spot for him. The physical attack power is not through the roof like in a lot of places, where Bigan hurts so many places because he's getting 3 attacks. Each part has its own script, and if it has high attack power, it's chewing through you. Here, it's not so bad, but it will still be a little annoying.
Yeah, and although I did just kind of tout the effectiveness of the Cave Eblin checks, I believe there was a race or 2 where I've been bailed out entirely by the treasury in Baron. Also very good.
Oh, that's true. That's true. It's always a little awkward to loot, though, because when you're in that part of the castle, you're also tempted to go ahead and peek the Odin fight. So it's like, am I choosing to ignore that for the sake of looting, or am I going to check it and risk all my loot, or do I just decide to run in here twice, or even 3 times?
Yeah, it is a little awkward, and I think the best time to do it, if you're just going to do it for the loot, is right after this fight that Zilch is doing right here. Because I am not at all, honestly, worried about taking that Odin spot right now.
I mean, there are several freebies there, and we do have a Tella with his full spell suite.
Oh, I will be very happy to check for that potential freebie after I have liberated Baron Castle.
And StupidSecksyFlanders still on this Leviathan fight, just an utter slog, really a battle of attrition here. Getting through it slowly but surely, churning through those life potions, nearly out of the starter kit.
Yeah, those Ice 2s definitely aren't helping there, as we see Rosa take a good 500 there. There's the Crumble, though, has got through. I didn't see the Grimoire if it went off at all there.
Yeah, this may be the rare situation where we see a safety save before the mirror room. Are you kidding me? Did you really? White Lance and Leviathan summon? Well, on the bright side, there's no Caner ready to be found, so whatever.
Yeah,
Sell it for all I care.
A Protect Ring Black Shirt, why not? I mean, after touting the Baron Treasury here.
Oh,
wow.
Goodness gracious.
I'm gonna say this Baron Castle is probably more stacked than your average Troya treasury at this point.
It was definitely more stacked than that Eblin loot that Zilch procured earlier. Goodness. Now you have the choice, though. Do you want the Rune Ring or the Protect Ring on your Rosa? Oh, they're so good. That black shirt and Rune Ring combo plus 8 to black magic for Tella, all of a sudden his virus and his tier 3 elemental spells are going to be doing work, as long as he can survive a punch.
Let me just say, I am so happy for that black shirt to finally have been fixed.
I mean, look, it matched what it did in the US version, but as far as game balance goes, I can't argue with you. I like having both it and the Sorc robes available for black magic boosting. The white shirt gives a huge white magic boost that neither of those even approach, so it's nice to have the flexibility in the options, given how utterly powerful the other one is. I mean, the white magic counterpart.
Speaking of affinities and weaknesses here, the burst just came out on this Sid with that rune bow, or that elven bow, and oh my, that's 3k.
Yeah, you probably don't need to do the double wall thing. As long as Asura doesn't land a Cure 4, you're good. And that's how the 3-face lady crumbles.
1104 hit points don't really matter when Sid's shooting for 2500 to 3000 and you only have 4000 max here.
Again, who needs edge when you got Sid? Look at these DPSs. Oh my goodness. Damage per shot.
DPC, damage per Sid.
There we go. Hey, you know that Avenger? You might as well sell it. It's just gathering dust at this point. Dango has been unchained, but we're ditching him. We've had enough monks for one day.
Indeed. Apparently the judges from Final Fantasy Tactics Advance have wandered through and said, yeah, swords, those are illegal. You can't use them. But yeah, Zilch is playing that Sid extremely well.
Oh yeah, that Elven Bow has made such a huge difference this seed. That and then just playing into elemental and racial weaknesses with the arrows. Elven Bow, low-key, one of the best pieces of gear you can find in the game, just because of how good its accuracy is. Means you're not wasting a ton of your hits when you pew-pew with the bow. Alright, not even gonna look at the Odin Throne.
No, come on, give us an Odin check.
Are you not even gonna check the treasury either? Ooh.
Yeah, that's a little spicy there. I would definitely check that Earth Crystal that just popped up there.
Well, the biggest thing right here that we're seeing that is kind of, in my mind, going in Flanders' favor is Zilch did not go to the basement there. He's not going to get the free Cursed Ring. So if we end up with things where, like, if Zilch's Tella gains a bunch of levels, can't really anchor the way he wants to, that may end up playing into Flanders' favor.
Also, Zilch is totally still hanging on to that Edward. But here's the thing. Let's say Zilch decides to go to that treasury here real quick. And if you find, let's say, a crystal sword and a stardust rod and, maybe a sorcerer robe or two, do you, with this party, decide, hey, this Sid's great, but I've got 2 character checks up top there, and I've got what I have now. Do I climb that tower?
Looks like it's happening right now. Launches the hovercraft, peaks the character. I think that was more for the character peak than for the implication of taking the hook route. I think we're about to see a big inventory purge. We're going to loot that treasury, and then we're going to see if we can't find someone to use this power shirt and this Avenger.
Yeah, I mean, though, to be fair, on these flags, if I find a Sid, now Tella is widely regarded for his anchoring, but I actually do like a good Sid there, especially if I do have a cursed ring, like Flanders does here, because there's the Dorfax half of it right there. If I find those 2 things, I can actually freely level my Sid until about 50.
Oh yeah, but I mean, you can also
freely
freely level your Tella if you want to. I wonder, what's a You can probably get a Sid to around 1200, and a Dwarf Axe is probably enough to get other members of your team to RA1. It's curious.
Oh, absolutely.
Flanders getting the Adamant Rock. Few checks behind here. That Leviathan was just super slow. Those Yangs not being able to punch out really great damage without levels and or Thunderclaws. So I'm wondering if Flanders feels behind at this point, and if so, if we're going to see a big route divergence when he gets that hook.
It's definitely interesting. I do believe that if he does go to Baron here, we find a Crystal Ring, third one, another White Spear, Life Staff, Masamune, Ninja Star, Bahamut.
You know, I think it's funny that that treasury heard you talking smack after the Baron one, and it's like, wait a minute, you think it's such a big deal that you got a White Spear and a Leviathan summon? I can do that. I can do it with a Bahamut summon. What's up now, Nightdew?
Wow, yeah, that is easily a 9 out of 10 treasury at the very least, and honestly, if I am Zilch right now, I'm probably never opening another box on this seed.
Oh yeah, no reason to. Absolutely no reason to. You have enough loot now that you can just sell it for the cash, for whatever you want to buy. And Zilch is really good about, like I said, one of his early strategies on this flag set was loot early and then stop. Have enough to do whatever you need to do going forward. Don't worry about any more boxes unless they're like immediately on your path. But up here, really hoping to see a Cecil, Kane, Edge, or Rydia, any of the above. Let me use these big powered items.
Barring that, a spoon.
Power shirt, spoon, Edward? Yeah. Second power shirt, by the way, in those first 3 chests in the watery pass that Flanders just picked up.
Yeah, Zilch did skip those chests on the way, and
But Flanders, ignoring the Baron Inn, will not be getting the hook from there, which is really unfortunate, because if that is our way underground, that means Flanders is going to be following the same route as Zilch, but a good, 10 minutes behind at this point. That is not good for the long run here.
Not good for the long run is going to mean that Flanders is going to, with the way Flanders has been looting, will likely go follow the same looting as Zilch did, so it's not at least going to be any equipment deficiency here, for what that's worth. Although we did just see chat pointing out that we love to see it. The Heroine Robe, the Elven Bow, and a bonus round.
Yeah, Zilch has thrown on his clothes the second side of Zerker Rosa, and gonna leave us with our jaws on the floor. Because here it goes, here it goes, here it goes again. Actually, wisely not zerking this fight. The Magus Sister spot has so much HP that you're gonna need a ton of Cold Mist if you try zerking at low levels here. Very wise to take it easy. You're gonna get it on the second rotation. Don't force yourself into a ton of Cold Mists by going for it on the first.
Still a pretty good lit 3 out of Tella there. 2500 is pretty good for an old man at that point here.
Oh yeah, Black Shirt, Rune Ring, and I think he has a stat stick on top of all that at this point. Not shabby.
Meanwhile, Flanders is doing exactly what I did when I was a kid at this spot here. Just throwing one big tier 3 at the body of Vigen and just kind of hoping with the rest.
I wonder who first discovered the MP underflow glitch.
That's a good question. Now these Yongs are punching, those power shots are going for, I saw 900 and a 700, so these Yongs are climbing the ladder a little bit here.
Oh yeah, it would have been real nice if that front arm had been dead. We can, if we really want to, back row glitch Yang in these flags. Gotta find an edge first though. And we do it through the power of rock. But yeah, where's Edge? We got this Masamune. We know where ninja swords are for sale. Where's Edge?
Wait, where is anybody at this point here?
Well, Zilch is through that D-Mist. We'll be getting a peek at 2 more characters very soon.
went a little heavy with that virus there. Tella did get damage on both the arms at the cost of taking that virus back in his own face there.
It was planned. Flanders is clearly trying to keep Tella at base level for agility anchoring, and perfectly reflected. Well done. Do you like Young? How do you feel about Young? How do you feel about vanilla Golbez's?
Yeah, how do we feel about all this vanilla we are being served here?
Doesn't vanilla Golbez sound like a really refreshing dessert? Like, I'm gonna go for ice cream. I'll be right back.
Okay, can you get me some?
Some more Yang, and... Oh, spicy.
Oh, there we go.
So not only do we have that Masamune, we have a full moon. Ninja swords are for sale right where we land when we leave this tower. If Zilch ditches the edge to flex, I will be kind of excited, but I doubt he does.
I'm pretty sure this is the curtain call for the bard. No, maybe, nope. Get rid of a Sid here.
All right, so full moon, Masamune incoming. Oh, Crystal. Oh, you're gonna give him that power shirt too, right? Right. You know, it's always really fun. It's like when you do all this, and then it's a fight that, like, it's a wyvern that you're not ready for, and then you have to redo all your menuing.
Yeah. Oh my, that's a spicy plus 10 agility on that edge from the word go between that Masamune and Crystal Ring, though.
Yeah, you will not have trouble getting a Star Bell up here. I agree, this is the way to start these fights. Your Heroine Robe, super fast Rosa, Berserks your super fast, over-equipped ninja with a power shirt.
And the fight solves itself. Well... a little slower than I thought. Berserk herself now, right?
I mean, it's still Edge. He's not as good as everyone thinks he is. He's trying, though.
He's as good as he thinks he is?
I mean, any solution can be... Any fight can be solved by applying more Zerg, right?
Yes, I mean, that is the whole basis of the Quint strategy, correct?
Yeah. Anyway, there we go. Zilch just had to give us a little bit of leg, as a treat.
Yes.
The earlier leg wasn't enough, we needed a little more leg. Through here, gonna get a full heal, got a very spicy attacker on the line, and Edge, good to see. Flanders, meanwhile, has taken down Asura on the Baron throne. So if we get, like, junk from this check, Flanders may be coming back to good shape by fading the spot and maybe finding an edge down in Eblin instead. Otherwise, being a full Tower of Zot behind is terrifying.
Terrifying, as well as Gungnir is junk 1. Oh, by the way, that's an objective, though. Completing the Tower of Zot.
Oh, you're right. I mean, if you delay it for later, you can come back through when you're stronger, but we do say check your objectives, check your freebies.
Check your demist.
Yeah. Do not forget your demist. You ever play a scene for like an hour and be like, wait, did I not check my... Oh, no. Oh, no!
And then it was an Avenger all along, and you still have to go through that rude boss in the Fey March.
Yeah. Well, no loot. I mean, no key item loot. Artemis bow to go with that Heroine Robe, though. Whew.
Wow, that is,
heavy breathing. Oh my gosh. Berserker Robe...
Never mind the mute arrows for sale in Mist right over there. Yeah.
Rosa, don't even Zerk Edge. Be like, no, I got this. I think we are going to see... Are we going to see a ninja sword purchase with all this excessive cash? Or are we just going down to the basement?
I mean, we still need to sell a little bit here. Oh, here comes the Artie bow on Rosa, though, however...
You know, the Odin slot's pretty fast. I think the Zilch at this point is like, but I'm faster. Gotta go get a job at...
telling here.
Gotta get a job at Quick People Incorporated. In fact, I'm wearing your glasses.
It is telling here how, thanks to the Heroine Robe, all the female party members have the highest potential to raise agility through equipment of any other character.
Yeah, that Artemis bow, plus that heroin robe, plus the crystal ring, plus a ninja hat. We have all that speed boost in gear. Oh my gosh.
And
how much?
That's a completely winnable fight right there.
That's what? Plus 25, plus 8. Is that plus 33 agility you could slap on Rosa right now if you wanted to?
That's what I'm coming
That's
up
a lot
with
of
here.
agility.
Yep.
That's like 2 entire multipliers of agility. The darkest of magics. Agility manipulation. Oh, and yeah, this fight's completely doable, chat. Transform, throw a weak out with Tella. That Whisper did not hit anyone who could be piggied.
And even though there are no hourglasses, Tella could just drop a stop after the main change phase here.
Blaze asking if Zilch is holding out for Eddie strats. You know, I'm honestly not sure, but I kind of like the setup we have anyway here. We have more than enough physical DPS. Tella with these equips is good on magical DPS. What do you really want out of Edward? You want a way to instantly kill, say, the Odin fight. You want a way to instantly get past a Dark Knight Cecil at King Queen Evelyn. And if you do get past along with all your objectives, you can go right to Zeromus without grinding. I kind of like hanging on to Eddie in this situation just because of how much the other team is making up for those weaknesses.
It's just hovering over that black magic command with Tella. Oh, going right for weak, yeah. Why do stop and you just, reduce it to single digit hit points?
The weak lands, that Tella with all those boosts, very unlikely to miss here. Rosa, I'm guessing I'm not sure if she has dragon defense, but 1 damage from the Odin spot, and she's at level 21 or 22.
That looks about right, yeah?
Oh, gear so good on T Wildish. Well, that's about the most useless key item you can get on this flag set with the warp glitch enabled.
Yeah, it's just going on the pile here, and it's 1 out of 10 right now.
You ever notice, after a few years, you look back at your keychain and you're like, I don't even know what this goes to?
That's a funny story about that. Yeah, I have a... We'll talk about that one later, but yes, there is there's a not so forgotten key on the keychain.
You have a Luca key on your real life key? I'm shocked.
Something like that. Anyways, it is finally time.
This is a little rough, we're approaching the 45-minute mark, and you're not underground yet on a hook route. I feel really spicy if I'm underground on a hook route sub 40 minutes. But on the other hand, Zot is an objective. So you know that, my opponent has to do this. They have to go through Baron to get the access. The only thing I conceivably spent extra time on was the Odin spot. I think I feel really good about a 45-minute diving into Cave Evelyn here, to be quite frank.
Yeah, with the extra Earth there, and to be fair, the party at the beginning, even with Zilch's DPS, is not the fastest party out there. Meanwhile, that shop has everything you need.
Just sell both white spears. Just go ahead.
Yeah.
You don't need either one. Kane sucks. Get him out of here.
You don't need those shurikens. Those are 10k each. That ninja star's 25k.
Okay, we do see the Bahamut cell, which I do like. That's a little dominance asserted, a little bit. Let's see more. Let's see more.
I mean, to be fair, the ship has sailed already at this point, probably.
Yeah. So, but I want to see more, end game. Just sell it. Sell. Let's go.
No, this is our question chat, Moonblaze Wolf. No, this is our first check, actually, at the hook route.
Yeah, neither racer even peaked it. I guess you keep the Holy Lances around for throwing, now that I think about it.
I mean, you could still... I kind of feel like if Kane shows up here, it's probably the last gasp for Kane right here, because you probably aren't taking the Dwarf Castle character at this point.
I mean, Avenger's nice, and anyone will get caught up doing enough Sirens. Anyone 5 levels behind catches up very quickly. And that's the Baron guards. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Getting to the underground. Nothing difficult here. Hoping for a spicy King Queen Evelyn now.
But here's the moment of truth for Zilch. We have everything we need for our Dragoon here. Here he is.
Zilch, does Zilch still have a Sid? I think the Sid goes here.
Has Sid, has Edward. We were wondering if he was keeping the Edward around for Edward's stress. Did see Baron Guards.
He's keeping the... Oh, he's finally... Oh, okay. I'll tell you why he's ditching the Edward. He now knows that he can do 1200 HP strats just as easily as he can do Eddie strats. So, Eddie doesn't have a big place in the team. The main utility for Eddie will be if we do have a Dark Knight Cecil at King Queen Evelyn.
And I mean, at this point, you still have a Sid.
Oh yeah, that's very likely to be able to tank everything. No Cursed Ring though, so it can be kind of tricky to get Sid the turn when you need it.
Look at all these accusations of betrayal in this scene. Who betrayed who? Who kicked Edward out here? Kane's not the bad guy. Kane did nothing wrong.
So you know what minor optimization I'm looking forward to seeing here? I would like to see Zilch very cleverly knock off all his characters but that Rosa and that Edge during the first fight at Dwarf Castle. They both have crystal rings on, they're immune to paralyze from Golbez, and so if those two are the ones still standing when the Shadow Dragon commences its assault, that minor optimization will save a little bit of time in that fight. I think it's really cheeky and I'd like to see it.
So anyway, we don't care about your virus script because that Berserk just came out on Edge.
I mean, he's not doing quite enough to one-shot them. But I will say that the virus is probably better than how hard they're punching.
That is, yeah, that's probably,
Oh, 340...
Might have wanted to heal up right before the fight. I think he came in a little weak there.
Yeah. 35 damage more than that Edge's HP. But it's fine. This fight's not going to be threatening. You just have to actually get them to that virus. You can out-heal this with Cure 2s. Easy peasy.
Yeah. And like you said, 300 damage virus is much better than, 1,000 damage punches.
Yeah. And StupidSecksyFlanders has made up a little bit of ground here. But still has to do the Baron in. That'll take a little bit of time. But is catching up, has closed the gap a little bit. And once you get underground, there are tons of options. We'll see how each racer takes it.
I did not see who Flanders. I was not paying attention to that fight. Probably did take that Edge. Not sure who got bitten for it, actually. Other than the fact that it was not Tella.
Yeah, you gotta keep a warp caster around as long as that glitch is enabled.
Oh, absolutely. Even with sirens popping up in Cave Evelyn, Tella has to stick around until, at the very least, the end of Dwarf.
Are we seeing the White Spear being used for its casting? Interesting thing, by the way, Zilch did not sell loot to pick up a Ninja Blade, figuring the Full Moon, which is the same damage as a Long Blade, slightly less accuracy, was sufficient. Flanders here actually taking the time and energy to grab one of these Ninja Blades. Although, wait, he just sell? No, that was a Ninja Hat. Okay, never mind. Maybe a Ninja Star.
Does take a flyer on the Samurai Bow, not knowing that the Threemus check is going to pay out in an Arty Bow.
I mean, sometimes you want a little bit of damage without completely nerfing your spellcasting.
True.
Zilch through the Lunars, we will not be seeing a save for the Kaipo guards fight. Nothing to be scared about here.
You'll be seeing a little bit of laughter, probably. You might even see an hourglass. Doubtful, though. I mean, maybe just speed the fight up a little bit so you don't have to go through the whole attack.
Yeah, because they're going to get one round off. You might as well cut it at that. I do wonder if we're going to see a purposeful life glitch on the officer for the sake of slingshotting this cane, or if we're just going to ignore that and just kill them all with like a stone spell, for instance.
Edge did take a swing at the back, but going to weak the back one. So yeah, this is about as you said. It's very likely the purposeful life glitch happening here.
Now I do wonder though if this is a better or worse slingshot than just doing an egg when you get underground. What's the damage if you do life? I mean, what's the XP if you do life glitch the officer here? I guess we're about to see.
25k base for the slots.
Yeah.
The officer is the largest, but I don't know as to what extent the XP comes in versus 34,000 for an egg. Gotta be close, probably.
Choosing to chew through the HP through more menial methods than just petrifying them all.
Everything must go, including this guy drum.
I mean, hey, I guess it's a way to clean up your inventory a little bit.
Yeah. I thought might go for another life glitch or two, honestly, but...
Either way, not long for this world, the soldiers are dead, 36,000. So yeah, 2,000 more than an egg, which of course doubled for the slingshot, 4,000 more than an egg. Getting every little extra bit of juice in that cane tank. Let's go.
And that's why I thought some of the soldiers might have been life glitched too, but no, but either way, 17 levels, level 27, and the underground is Zilch's oyster now.
Yeah, but we do have that warp glitch screaming at us. That's a Val at the top, a very cheeky place for Val. She does not get magic defense in her tornado form there. Not that we have anyone who's really keen on doing magic damage with this party.
I was about to say, other than that real Stardust Rod in the Troyo Treasury here, not much to speak of. I do like the dwarf play immediately here. With that Val being up there, I mean, like you said, it is one of the spots out there that you can hit with magic, and the evasion isn't as much there, even with a cane in our party now.
Oh yeah, very quick flight. Zilch knows where he wants to go. Let me get that double check. The Dwarf Castle discount double check. Oh my god.
I mean, if we see somebody wearing like Green Bay Packers gear, I may have just kind of lose it there. Why is Golbez wearing a cheese head?
Plumeria Knight, without spoiling anything, you should go find out. Highly recommend anyone who's not played around with the push B to jump flag, the April Fool's 2020 flag. You owe it to yourself to do a little bit of exploration on your own, and then you can start asking and seeking for all the other minutia that folks have dug out.
Ooh, we got a blue robe.
Do we get one blue robe or three blue robes?
That's a very good question.
Womp womp.
Well, that just means we put off our blue robe here, because let's put it this way, it's just the dolls, it's fine.
Other blue robe at the Crystal Sword Altar?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, now we're talking.
You know, Flanders is cleaning out the path up to the Cave Evelyn. Yeah, that's where I'm going with that. Didn't see much of it. Did get a coffin, though. Didn't see if... I didn't think Flanders sold that Avenger just yet.
Oh, here we go. You know that minor optimization I suggested?
Oh, yeah?
Here it comes! I'm so proud. I saw it coming. I saw it coming.
Fit into the cane. Flanders took a reset, and I'm not sure why.
Maybe accidentally did not keep a character's gear after ditching them?
Oh, yeah, you're probably right. The cane gear probably flew out, and yeah, probably the white spear.
Oh! Chat confirming he did sell the Avenger, and then he saw the cane. He's like, I want my Avenger! I want it back! I want you back!
Speaking of even more vanilla, that was Iridia that ran up to the party right before this vanilla Kolbez.
Well, Zilch definitely sold the Leviathan and Bahamut summons already, so not today, little summoner, not today.
Oh, what's next? Is the Mist Dragon actually going to show up here?
Hold gas. They were like, oh, Crystal Ring. Crystal Ring, baby. What you gonna do about it? Funny thing is that here you don't even need to throw up your walls. The damage we're going to see from Golbez's spells is not nearly enough to make up for the way this team's going to chew through the 3,000 HP he has.
Oh yeah, I mean, you gotta remember, in the vanilla spot here, you have to remember, at this spot you have 3 dead party members, a Cecil, and wherever you left him from the Dolls fight, and a base level wherever she joined the party at Rydia. Golbez's spells don't hurt that much here.
Yeah, they don't want to punish you with a storyline fight. They're like, oh, haha.
Now, I believe in the DS remake, they severely buffed him, so...
You know, I've not played the DS remake in such a long time. I really enjoyed it, but it's been years since I did a full playthrough of it.
It has been quite a while. I believe wasn't he like a barrier change boss at that point as well?
No, they do the whole Magi Master thing on him. Gotcha. Wait. Not a very spooky hand, just a regular blue one. Womp womp. How vanilla.
Hand forgot to dress up this time around. Bells, that is either the DS version or the Steam version. Both of those are almost the same, I believe.
Well.
I'm thinking it's a very fancy dart at this point.
It's true. Fling it. And just a whole bunch of gear for our Dwarf Castle Trouble. I mean, exceptionally fantastic gear.
Yeah, I mean, a very fancy robe to go with the very fancy dart.
Are you ready for Vanilla Tower Key on top of all this other vanilla?
We have seen a lot of vanilla. However, I'm pretty sure we're still in the check your freebie zone, so we're gonna see a little bit of Fate March here.
Yeah. Again, Zilch's one loss this tournament came from his opponent doing a keyless tower check. I think it would be really funny if he won this match on the back of making the same check.
True. It's one of those things where you can't do too much confirmation bias, but it's in the back of your head. We all know it is.
And hey, you know what keeps you from being tempted into looting excessively? All your chests along your route being empty anyway.
Oh, that's spicy, though.
Pan? Free Pan? Before you go to... Oh. Poydrak, making life too easy.
Free cookware.
Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew. Oh, I like what Zilch is doing here, saying, I will not fight a Feymarch fight unless it is fully free. They're both pretty free.
I'd say that Arcos is pretty free. That Octomem, slightly free, but...
Well, here's the thing. He has hourglasses, right? But he doesn't have that cursed ring that Flanders has. So, actually getting your hourglass off here is shockingly a little... There's an amount of probability cooked in to getting it off in time.
I mean, at the very least, you have Dorfax Sid there.
And our Edge and our Rosa are both super sneaky fast.
Speaking of, Flanders just picked up something that would make that fight entirely free for one character, as there was a Moon Veil in the Mad Ogre's chest.
I love this. You go up to the one red robe, and then the other two off to your sides come up, and they're like, "Ha-ha! 5, not 3-on-1, but still." I love to imagine the other two just stabbing you in the back as soon as you start this fight.
So you went that way, and I just kind of, I kind of went like, you know, late 70s mobster movie, I think, maybe. They're all in suits. One's flipping a coin, the other one's cleaning nails with a knife. Things like that.
So we have coffins, but are we actually going to burn them, or are we just going to try to do stone and call it a day? Another advantage of having Tella in the middle.
I think I like stone and calling it a day here.
Like, we have other grind methods. Doing the whole week setup doesn't... Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've got sirens. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. So fresh, so clean. Enjoy your statues.
I wonder that Young doesn't have a fire claw anymore.
That's a spicy item in the hands of Zilch.
Well, I'm not mad at that pass.
A little surprised that we're not going for the Octomammoth. It's also relatively free. As long as you get a few hits in before it punches you down, you will be outpacing it substantially. And you could have avoided ever having to return to Feymarch. Again, if you're on other flag sets with, you know, where you don't have the same exceedingly strong gear that you have here, maybe not. But I think this team takes down that Octomammoth spot just as easily.
I'm thinking if Zilch had unearthed that curse ring, you're right. However, with only a Dwarfax Sid, and I'm not sure if either one of them found soap webs, to be completely honest.
True.
I'd really like a silk web for that fight. But yeah, nice easy pan checks as well.
Wow! Well, alright, Octomammoth 3.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to see a 180 jaunt back to Feymarch, but still, you know, any physical fight alone is completely free. You pop that, you pop a pocket swine, Edge is like, okay, I got this, you all take it now.
I was more thinking Rosa with some lightning arrows, honestly, at that point, but that works too.
You know that pizza is no and can't witch?
Yeah. I can't tell if that's a nod to me wanting a like pizza is no can't be a sandwich. Let's go with that.
I mean, why do they call it oven when you oven the cold food, out hot, eat the food? And there's a darkness crystal from Sheila 1, seed wide open, magma key. Well, if you'd given this to us at the start, we would have access to the entire Final Fantasy IV universe, more or less. Alright, so we need a legend sword or a tower key for go mode. Where do you go?
I've got real ultimate power. I've got hourglasses. I've got sirens. I've got coffins. I am calling up the whale right now.
I think you gotta go do Keyless Tower. 100% Keyless Tower right now. This is gonna be the vanilla Lugae spot. Valvalis has the tower key. The tower key has the legend sword. Calling it now. Keyless Tower. Got the goods.
Keyless Tower. Will, if you are Flanders right now, it is an hour 6 in. I don't even know if he peaked that Val. I didn't know. I was not watching at that point. I don't know if he did peak the Val. He did peak Val?
Yeah.
Do you feel behind enough to about face right back into that tower?
I mean, I kind of do. Again, anytime I'm through a hook route more than an hour in without the seed being just utterly obnoxious, I feel behind. Up against someone as good as Zilch, I feel way behind.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a worthy gamble. So I would definitely be considering that in this matchup.
Now here's the thing. Flanders is going straight to the Fey March. Gonna find that pre-pan.
It's really good for him. It's going to lead him to Sheila. It'll lead him to the Darkness Crystal. We know the Dwarf Castle only had loot. So this is really good for Flanders.
Yeah, could just jettison right out after finding the Darkness Crystal, get the goods from Sheila, and make up a ton of time. Still going to be a little bit down in the XP department, but that's what the moon's for, right?
Yep.
And immediately goes for the exit, doesn't even want to see the Fey March bosses. Just is gone. Me at Pan. I did not see the Bacchus wine in Tamra. Did zilch check Tamra?
I don't think either racer even went there.
Yeah, well, I mean, Flanders is there right now. So that is another thing that Flanders will have on Zilch there is drinks.
I mean, we already had one Avenger. We have multiple sources of Zerk and Tella and Rosa. I'm honestly not sure if it's worth the time investment.
I believe that was a general operations manager on the John Dwarf. Very general.
No need for specificity.
I keep seeing Flanders drive by that tower. Be like, no, just set it down there. You'll be fine.
And now we get to walk. Walk. Waka waka waka.
So other than a vanilla or an old gauntlet, what else would you like to see at that crystal altar?
Ogopogo is fantastic there. Just because you give it extremely high physical damage to go along with its obnoxious waves that knock off a quarter to half of your HP. So yeah, either one of those I'd be pretty happy with.
We still haven't found that evil wall either, and Edward is gone from the party.
Ooh, a good suggestion there. Love a nasty evil wall.
Zilch is going right for that altar. Gonna see what it is real fast. Does have multiple sources of grind available, so even if it is something super rude.
Oh yeah, but if this is just outright your tower key or your legend sword, you are very happy you've done this check first. And if it's anything that uses primarily magical damage, you're not scared whatsoever. Okay, this is kind of funny.
It is, yes.
So,
oh, go ahead.
I mean, the punches here are going to be absolutely brutal, but the Zantetsuken not going to be so bad. Although, admittedly, still having that Eddie around would have been rather delightful at this point.
Yeah. Here here comes out the Zerks. It's gonna be a straight up damage race here. Which Odin just says, yeah, you just put that Avenger on that Dragoon. I don't think I like that.
Well, he's not the real threat here. Rosa's the real threat here.
Yeah.
Oh, this is fine. Odin hit the, Odin made it easy peasy. Taking down the front row, thinking they were DPS, you fool. Our DPS was in the back row all along.
Tell finishing off a Crystal Altar Odin, you love to see it.
And getting a whole lot of levels for it. Well, it's a key item.
I feel like that's taunting the Eddie there.
Oh, it's not so bad. Zilch will get what? A completely free fight now at the D-Lunar altar that gives go mode, right?
Go mode, or like, you know, a Crystal Sword or two.
Double Crystal Sword all the way across the moon? What does it mean?
I mean, Cecil's on the beach somewhere anyways.
Sipping a Mai Tai.
Yep.
Margarita. No salt on the glass. I'm gonna burn this village mess down.
Well, you can't do it there. He's babysitting the kids because we haven't seen either Twin or Rydia pop up. No, wait, we did see Rydia pop up. She was in the vanilla spot. Babysitting the twins.
You know the annoying thing about having two white spears? It's that your Avenger doesn't swap slots with it when you re-equip it. Should have sold one! Or throw one. Throwing one works too. Oh, speaking of, Holy Lance, let's go. Full Moon here does double damage too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of things to throw things at, and here comes the full moon.
Yeah, this is actually really,
And Chad is correcting me that there was a forearm in the Baron and that I missed as well, so...
Dude, where's my Avenger? Oh, at the bottom. I think Rosa, well, whether it's the White Robe or the Heroine Robe, not taking hardly any damage from this Mylon Z. White Robe giving zombie defense, Heroine Robe just being, well, the armor that it is. Edge over here about to be doing, well, already doing 5,000 to 6,000 a swing.
Meanwhile, Flanders did take a stop over at Dwarf Castle, which, I mean, to be fair, I normally like to play anyway.
Oh yeah, it's just unfortunate because we know this is the exact route that Zilch has taken, and that's the thing about 1v1. Like, if you think you're taking the same route your opponent would take, and you have had any hiccups whatsoever, you have to choose a deviation.
Yeah.
I mean, no one knows exactly what their opponent's doing, but if this is the likeliest option, you are putting yourself in a very disadvantageous position, and Zilch is in go mode.
So we were both right, apparently. Because to go along with that tower key, there was a crystal sword.
Well, now if there's another crystal sword behind the tower key, you get to be doubly right, right?
But what if it was... I mean, we're not going to see a turn into the pigtail. But if it was a pigtail that led to a crystal sword? Oh, there's a point where you become too right, but I think that's when you've, that's when the machines take over.
Imagine being too right. Oh, that'd be so difficult. I like being able to be wrong.
Yeah?
It takes so much pressure off. Just being like, oh no, I messed up. That's my mistake. It's, if you have to be right all the time, oh my gosh, that's terrifying.
Well, the good news now is now that Zilch has separated those white spears, as long as he doesn't hit the sort button, the Avenger will be higher up in the inventory there.
So you know what really makes me sad here? Zilch doesn't have to fight the blue gay spot. You just do your fight and go. It will put you at... Actually, we're already at 10 key items, so...
Yeah.
It'll put us at 11. Fine. There. I was so rooting for Keyless Tower, but it turns out that the Penguinator special has its revenge.
Wyvern, if you only were just a little bit faster. Because I'm pretty sure there wasn't a save in front of that tower. There would have been some nice little hubris going on right there.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing there is just don't panic. Just, oh, it's Wyvern. You have 600 HP. I'm okay with that.
Yep. You have 600 HP, I have a ninja, I win.
You know, this may generally be the Penguinator special, but it's not that special if it's the only thing you have to do in your seed other than kill Zeromus. So, it's not quite as spicy as when you do it, Bird. When Penguinator does it, it's delicious. It's fancy. You love to see it.
I mean, he did win the last Threemus zone, so I'm going to let him have it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We can call this the Penguinator not so special.
The Penguinator, we're doing this, but only because we have to special?
Sure. So the next question is, how much does Zilch grind, if at all? Zilch can beat Zeroma with his team, as is, no questions asked. But, I wonder how he feels given the matchup, given the places he had hiccups. What are we going to see him do before he pops that pass and heads to Big Z?
It doesn't feel like Zilch had that much in the way of hiccups at all. The Sand Ruby is a free anchor, I guess.
We are going to see at least a Siren or 3.
Yeah, that was a sit. Now, to answer your question here, at least at that, it doesn't feel like Zilch made that many errors at all.
Oh, not at all.
So what I'm thinking here is that Zilch probably feels that with this party, because it is going to be a...
No, he's gonna try Zerg. He's already...
Yeah, he's gonna try Zerg, so he wants the levels to... He wants to see one Big Bang.
Yeah, I'm a little sad that we're not gonna see, like, a Zerg Rose at this fight, which we might still, but the Heroine Robe comes off, the Artemis Bow gets shifted over, White Robe goes on fine, we're gonna go into Cure 4 mode. I think chat really wanted to see a Quint here, but... Nothing wrong with playing it safe.
So what we need to do is go 20 minutes back in time, find somebody with 100,000 channel points, and tell Zilch to quit.
There we go. StupidSecksyFlanders, meanwhile, is finally making a huge gamble, probably a little too late, but is going for the Keyless Tower play. Would really need to find the Legend Sword here for it to make any difference. And even then, very difficult to come back from this. Zilch is in prime position, amazing gear, fantastic team. Rose is going to be able to like take a full-powered Big Bang and shrug it off to the tune of like 1,500 damage with this gear. Just needs a few more levels together.
We are going to be so spoiled heading into it. Whoever makes it out of these routes here is going to be so spoiled on group flags. We're just going to get, like, hit over the head with an Ogre Axe on what we're going to be seeing at table flags with S&T Pro.
Ogre Axes are great.
Yeah, Ogre Axes are great, but they're not a Masamune. speaking of, Edge, we gave you a legendary ninja sword. You can't kill an egg with one shot?
Rose is like, I got this, you scrub. Smacking it with a life staff, just for the irony.
Well, it's a staff. It has power over life, and it has the power to take your life, right?
Still something, well, I guess it wasn't in egg form at that point, but still.
Sure.
Yeah. Rosa already at 2100 HP. I mean, this is very, very Z-Fight ready. This is all just gravy on top of your balanced breakfast.
Yeah, this is at the point where I would be surprised if Zilch did, like, more than one egg after this. Yeah, it's over here, and Zilch
Well, then you're not surprised this time.
But yeah, with Rosa with that life staff, white shirt, crystal ring, don't even care what was in the head slot. Not really worried about seeing her drop into a Big Bang, even at full power. It's just gonna be,
Well, she even has Holy. He got her to 48. Oh.
Yeah, try Zerk, put your feet up. And,
try Zerk with a Holy spell on top of it. A plus 30 willpower Holy spell on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
You know, I say, just go back, put the heroine robe on, grab the arty bow off Sid. He can use whatever hammer or axe he had, and just quad Zerk this thing.
So I'm seeing a whole bunch of the number 2 in chat. I don't know what this means.
And the number 2 squiggly line, on a blue background, people seem to be waving it around a lot. There will be an Avenger Sword. It will be glitched on, but I believe everybody starts waving it around this time. I even see a few backwards ones there. I seem to be always with this boss, and I just can never remember what's going on with it.
Yeah, they're all saying Final Fantasy II randomizer win. The NES classic, the precursor to the Saga series. Everyone loves it. Mateus is a great villain, and maybe he'll be the Z-Sprite as we ask that important question tonight, do.
Whose butt are we going to kick tonight? Meanwhile, just before that, unfortunately it was not a Legend Sword on top of the tower. However... will Flanders be the hero of the people here and cash in that Twin Harp?
Yeah, meanwhile, Zilch has a great setup here. Gonna have 2 really strong Zerkers off to the races, a third one following not too soon thereafter, as he utterly incinerates Tyr, aka Miria, recurring boss of the Breath of Fire series. This is her incarnation from Breath of Fire 1. Snaky, wormy thing. Honestly, you know what this boss form reminds me of that I didn't really hit me when I played Breath of Fire back in the day?
I think I can see where you're going with this. I may think, but go ahead.
It's very, like, Red Falconish from the Contra series.
Not where I saw you going with it, but now that you say that, yeah, I can see this now.
Yeah, like, in the final stage, when you're, like, in the alien, like, hive and everything. Like, definite, like, Red Falcon Contra vibes.
It's also reminding me that it has been forever since I played Breath of Fire 1.
You're probably not missing too much.
Oh no, I like the Breath of Fire series as a whole, even the one that everybody seems to hate.
Oh, I mean, no. I mean, you're talking about Dragon Quarter. I loved Breath of Fire 1 through 4. But Breath of Fire 1 is a little bit grindy, and even like watching the speedrun a couple years ago on RPG Limit Break, like it was a speedrun, I believe speedrun race for it. It's like, get the Earth Key, use the Earth Key a lot. Oh, this boss fight, you're not done yet. You have to use the Earth Key 20 more times.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's optimized, but it's still not a sparking joy. But still, you get turned into a dragon. How great is that?
It's always fun. I was more disappointed in the second one where your transformations were just, a little bit more,
Seriously, dude. Oh my gosh, like, the best, like, 2 and 5 kind of have that. It's like, you want to be a dragon? Well, sorry. You don't...
Okay, you're one for 2 seconds. Have fun.
Yeah, 1 and 3 were really great about letting you be dragon. 4 was like, what do you think a dragon is? This is a dragon. That's not a dragon. Yeah, it is. I swear, we put dragon on the. That's a weird giant flying worm, invisible, translucent thing. No, it's a dragon, bro. Okay, whatever you say. But yeah, Zilch's setup here is just fantastically strong. That Artie Bow, like Mute Arrow Sid doing 1700, White Sphere into Avenger Kane doing 2000, Masa, and I think, what's this? Full Moon Masa Edge doing out 3500. Rosa not even throwing Holies, just waiting to cure 4. Let's not slow things down with our spell animations. This is going to be textbook and over very quickly.
Oh, yeah. Rose is already planning out, has the beach chair, has the sunglasses, ordering a drink, probably on her phone right now.
You know, in Kill Bill Volume 1, when Uma Thurman is fighting the Crazy 88, and and that lady, the French lady, is on her cell phone like the entire time during the fight.
Oh yeah.
That's Rosa right here.
Yep.
We even have ninjas. It's perfect. Rocks falling already. It is all over but the shouting.
I mean, there might be some shouting too. However...
And Kane, the Betrayer, taking the kill. Zilch, a very clean seed, start to finish. Well played, advances to 2-0, guaranteed 1 shot at advancing out of Magma Group into the table stage. GG's out in chat. We'll see if we can get Zilch in for an interview shortly, y'all.
It is a huge relief just to get into one of those.
Oh, you just have 3 shots either time?
Yeah.
And we are joined by Zilch. Zilch, GG's.
Thank you.
So, super academic start to finish. Great to see. Were you at all worried early about a keyless tower being the play there?
I mean, after my loss in the group stages, yes. Always worried about keyless tower. But, you know, I didn't think Val was that appetizing for anyone to go after, so I was less worried than last time. So that helped a little. Even though we did have a game.
Second big question, Feymarch. What made the Imps appealing, but not Octomammoth at those 2 positions?
I know the Imps I can just hourglass and stone, and it's over probably under a minute. Octomam, it's going to hit hard initially. I mean, it's a free fight essentially, but it's not a quick fight. I debated it, but in the end I figured I'll go elsewhere. Not necessarily the best decision, but I guess we'll find out shortly. But
Gotcha.
Yep, one thing I've got here, were you considering more low-level Zeroma strats, like when you were going to dive the hook, that you knew you had Zot done, you knew you had to get Darkness Crystal eventually, were you still thinking low-level strats at that point, or were you holding out for a spoon?
Even without the spoon, I'm always considering the low-level strats. But, I mean, I had the Sirens, I had 10 key items, and I think I was already at like 1400 HP, so it wasn't, the grind was going to be quicker. So, I'm always considering it. I knew where the vampires were, but they were in Feymarch, so I would have had to go dive into there just to pick those up. And, you know, I could have already done like 4 eggs at that time. So.
Let me tell you, Zilch, we did just see the Octomammoth reward, and it was the Legend Sword. Yep. Very spicy option on the seed, but you just ran away with it so early that even that's not going to make a substantial difference this time.
I was about to say, the only thing that really would have saved was the check down at the Ribbon Room. Moon was not haunted, at the very least, so it wasn't too bad. The only thing we're not going to see here is the Copal Shop.
Yeah, that could have had some spicy stuff in there.
So Zilch, coming into next week, you're 2-0. You're guaranteed a shot at a play-in. Ideally, you get 2, though. Now, there's a lot of people asking, who do you hope? I'm not going to ask you that because I know there's no one you want to see. But who is the absolute number 1 player in the 2-0 group already of Magma that you do not want to run into next week? Who do you hope to avoid at all odds?
I feel like if I say it, it's going to happen. But I mean, I'll say it anyway. But I really don't like playing against Jeebus, not just from a win-loss standpoint. Like, all the recent asyncs and everything, I feel like he just keeps beating me. So he'd probably be the number 1 that I don't want to play.
Gotcha. You're the second person I've interviewed to say Jeebus. Both, Penguinator generally said the winner of the Jeebus pizza match, so that's 2 right now, hoping to dodge Jeebus. So, good luck to both of you. Maybe fate means that you have to play each other this coming week instead.
Well, now that I said it out loud, it's probably going to happen. And oh well.
Have you had a lot of time? Have you looked ahead to table flags at all, or you've been purely focusing on this flag set since you still have to win a few more matches to make it?
I've been trying to avoid them until I was actually guaranteed a spot. But then I think it was Pixel Tamo that mentioned in the Discord that we don't actually get a week to practice it once you find out you were guaranteed a spot. So I may have to reconsider that thought process. So a little disappointed there, but I might have to start playing table flags preemptively. But yeah, so far I haven't played a single table seed though.
Gotcha. Might do.
Yeah,
Anything else?
No, that's pretty much about it for me there. Other than no, that's actually about it. I just did not pick up anything there.
Well, we're out of questions for you, Zilch, but any final thoughts from you on the seed you just played and what you're looking at in the next couple of weeks?
Kind of shocked that after finding ninja swords, we actually found a ninja, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, that's the only thought on this seed. Do want to thank Poydrek for the restream, Inven and Night2, thanks for the commentary, and Pancrez, thank you for tracking. As far as the coming weeks, don't get Jeebus, preferably not Penguinator, and then after that, I mean, everyone in the Magma group's good, but what can you do?
Hey,
anyway.
Well, GG's again. Well played. Always a pleasure to watch you put on these clinics. I think we all learned something, especially your early game, taking advantage of all those elemental and racial weaknesses. GG, well played. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
And apparently, Zilch over here being the people's hero as well, gonna give us some Bedward music. I'm gonna mute myself and listen in while Flanders pursues these moonchucks. That was a lovely, lovely extended play. Thank you, Poydrak, for letting the music roll while we had this Walking of the Moon. Flanders now, dealing with that same Odin fight. Looks like we're seeing similar opening strats here. A little Zerg, a little Avenging, a little Wine.
Did we find any Thunderclaws in the meantime? I don't remember seeing a Thunderclaw at all in this scene, to be completely fair.
That's the thing about T Wildish. You're really disincentivized from checking a whole bunch of overworld weapon shops, which is the likeliest place to find it. Because you're probably finding better weapons just by opening chests. So very easy to miss it.
Now, you have played quite a lot more of the table flags than I have. I've only dealt just slightly. How many more Yongs are you taking in the table flags, if I have to ask?
Are we including starting Yongs?
Apparently not that many. His equipment immunity, apparently, not doing much for you, huh?
Well, here's the thing that I would honestly recommend and this is something that I should do myself. I think that if you really want to push yourself hard on table flags, don't roll table flag seeds. Go to the generator and add in no Tella. Because if you have a Tella, you're taking a Tella, and your ultimate grind plan is going to be Dean Machine. You want to do that with the Tella.
Agreed.
So if you want to practice those nasty seeds where he doesn't show up, just go ahead and remove him from your character pool anyway. And I think if we do that, we will suddenly see more Thunderclaw Yangs in practice. Power punching Mag Giants is definitely an option. It's not the dream, but it is significantly cheaper than an Ogre Axe or a Poison Axe, and even an Earth Hammer.
True.
So yeah, Yang has his place, but and I would take him for a slingshot at 5th character. There's a lot of... You want to... Your team has... There's a fulcrum. You have the first half of the game that you want to have characters that will get you through anything and everything up to the hook route. But then you want characters who can very quickly make work of the second half. And for that, you really want a Black Mage you can slingshot, a character with really great weaponry, or, like you said, a Yang that you can slingshot as well. If you get a Yang to level 55 off of anything, he will punch everything for 4,000 damage, and that's fantastic. It's the first half that he's not going to help you in.
True.
But again, this goes back to my philosophy of treating Yang as you would most mages, except that he's not even good early game. Like Palom and Rydia each have their early game niche, either your tier 2 spells plus your Virus and your Quake, or you get, Sylph early and Rydia carries you, or you get, Heroine Robe, Dragon Whip, and Rydia carries you. But Yang doesn't have any early game to speak of. He does nothing for you in the early game. There's no setup that works for him, but he can be absurdly strong middle and end game.
Yeah, it's the one thing where even if you do find the equipment that would make any other character rather very strong, your power ropes, your Zeus gauntlets, any kind of decent weapon. The thing is, even if you find like double cat claw, bandana, power rope, Zeus gauntlet, base level Yang, he's gonna punch somewhat harder, but he's just so reliant on those levels.
Yeah, you've bumped him from doing 150 damage to doing 350 damage. It's not the same as equipping a crystal sword, or even, a defense sword on Kayn, let alone an Avenger, But there are seeds out there. This is something that happened in Football Gauntlet. Rivers McCown sent me a practice seed. Says, here, you should play this for everyone bad-mouthing Yang. And it was a seed where he was your physical damage, and there were tons of enemies with elemental weaknesses. And if you played your Yangs right, you had a great time. If you didn't know how to leverage him, it was going to be even worse. So every seed's different,
Yeah, and to be fair, those are the ones I'm definitely wanting to go watch here. we've heard this conversation a whole bunch where we're going to see a whole ton of D machine grinds with Tella out there. I really want to see like late darkness crystals, no Tella showing up at all, where we kind of have to decide what we want to do here.
Oh yeah, and there's also the option that, let's say that you do customize your team to make your early game really great. Like, let's say that you take a Kayn, a Porum, and a Rosa right out the gate. These three are fantastic for the first half of the game. They're gonna have good HP, good spells, good weapon DPS. But then you find a Crystal Sword, then you find an X-Scowl, then you find something like, let's say, a Lightsaber. Are you going to commit to one Cecil? Are you going to try to go double Cecil? If you do, there's no spot for a Tella anymore. So there's still a lot of decision-making to be made, even within that seemingly more limited context.
Yep.
Looks like Flanders has grinded enough. Ready for that Z fight. Does have that cursed ring. Thank you, DMC and Treasury. Exceptionally beautifully equipped Rosa.
Yeah, I mean, I usually like the DMC and Treasury for money. I mean, the curse ring is just gravy at that point.
Oh yeah, it's just so dense. Like, even though the loot isn't as high tier as other places, there are 9 chests within like 4 tiles of each other. You're not getting that density anywhere else.
Yeah, and to be fair, like, ice armor, silver armor, stuff like that still sells for a lot. The body armor is just expensive.
Oh yeah, when you have seeds with teams at the start where you're like, oh, I have to buy black swords and dancing daggers, you're thankful for it. Those things aren't cheap. And here we go, StupidSecksyFlanders making that final run on down to the basement.
Yeah, gonna be pretty much exactly where Zilch was. I don't really foresee any kind of difficulty. Actually, I foresee less difficulty, given that Tella is properly equipped to Anger.
You know, and it is remarkable how different the team composition plus the looting made the seed play out. Zilch just had, it was a simple matter of a Cid with an Elven Bow and lightning arrows lighting the way through ordeals that gave him such an early advantage. That Leviathan was responsible for, I dare say, 10 minutes of this difference alone.
Yeah, it's pretty much as I like to tell, especially newbies coming in. You can get good at this game real fast, and the first 50% of getting good at this game is knowledge. Knowledge on when to use, knowledge on what weaknesses to hit, what to use, who to take to it. It's just like, and Zilch just pretty much ran a clinic on it at the beginning of this seed here. Just pretty much getting the big lead off of just knowing what to use and how to use it.
Yeah, but of course, if you don't find the loot, you can't leverage the loot. I think that a Thunderclaw find would have given Flanders just as good of a time with those Leviathan fights.
True. I mean, to be fair, they were probably in a shop, but I mean, I'm kind of in the whole thing where I'm kind of with Project Dia, I believe, is the one who does a lot of early shop skips. We want to spend as little time in the shops as we can. That was a fast shake, however.
Yeah, probably going in here at battle speed 1. A little rough. That nuke going on Rosa, definitely not happy times, but... or, you know, whatever. Oh, and instantly into Big Bang. This is definitely battle speed 1 with no one zerked yet.
Yeah, no one zerked. I didn't see a Silk Web come out, and I could have swore we may have...
No, we got the nerf. The nerf did happen, thankfully.
Yeah.
That would have been disaster, if not. But Rosa being so supremely equipped cleans up right after here. The team's online, the Zerks are going.
Yeah, Seeds were content to throw darts with Edge, which, you know, not that either.
Oh, we still have a spoon. We have some X-Cows. Can't fault it. I'm sure we'll see Zerk come online as soon as the last of these as soon as the last of the ammunition has been disposed of.
Yeah, I think once we're done with the Mute Daggers, it's probably a little bit better to let Edge start swinging those swords, but until then, yeah, just, that's 7,900, that's quite a bit still.
Gonna see another Big Bang soon. Did not skip the second Big Bang, so hopefully everyone lives through this. Oh yeah, shrugging it off. We got great rings, great equipment. Here comes the Bacchus wine.
Yep, and to be fair, it's one of those things where everybody's like, well, your Palom only has 1,700 hit points, your Riddy only has like 1,600 hit points. Yeah, if they have like a Tiara Diamond, Sorcerer Robe, and, any kind of stat stick in their hands, it's gonna take Zeromus quite a bit of luck to actually reach the top of that hit point tower there with those characters, just because all the magic evade rolls they do get.
Rosa here queuing up a replacement Berserk. That black hole, of course, purges the Berserk status on our teammates. Kane will take a turn for the Avenger to kick in again. And we're getting great turn utility here. Edge's menu did not pop up, going right back into it. We're only going to have to see a menu with Yang to get another Bacchus wine going. Kane's turn is just the Avenger reactivating. And we're going to be back swinging through this all over again very quickly. Nice resuming your setup after the black hole.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of a little bit surprised, and I think we might see it more in those table flags as well. Do you find yourself taking, obviously with the Tele you do have two sources of Berserk, but do you find yourself kind of leaning into White Mages a little bit harder just because you need more sources of Berserk, because Bacchus wines are not really going to be a thing you're going to see most of the time.
Yeah, if you do, luckily, if you hold your final slot and find an edge, you can always steal some from the Mad Ogres. This, of course, is a time investment. Honestly, taking both, a Rosa-Porum duo is a fine thing to do, in my opinion, in table flags. It's not the dream. I would typically prefer, a Rosa-Tella duo, but, you do what you must.
Well, at that point, you just make sure you put the staff in Forum's hands, so Rosa can just go back to Warrior Princess mode, right?
Oh, absolutely. Pew, pew.
But basically what I was saying back there is, if your mages are dying to Big Bang is there, it's one thing, they're not going to get, especially table flags, they're not going to get, the huge equipment options. You're not going to go, ripping white shirt, crystal ring all the time, but, take some time to give them something there so they don't have to rely on a whole ton of luck or nerfs to take those Big Bangs if at all possible.
We do see rocks falling, less than 12,000 HP to go. This Zerk Edge looks to be clearing things out on his own. Oh yeah. Bada bing, StupidSecksyFlanders has taken down Zeromus with a 150-12. GG's out in chat. We'll see if we can get StupidSecksyFlanders in for an interview shortly. I believe we are joined by StupidSecksyFlanders, a name which is just a joy and a pleasure to say. It rolls off the tongue so well. GG's.
Thank you. Appreciate that, GG's.
What a difference loot routes made. You and Zilch took drastically different loot routes early, and it kind of made a big difference. Just having lightning arrows, of all things, really let him tear through ordeals in a way that really kind of hamstrung you in the early game.
I kind of, when I saw him clock in at an hour and a half or whatever the time was, that's what I thought. I was like, okay, he had some sort of damage output at ordeals, because I just knew I could get through those battles, and I was like, maybe he's struggling too. I don't know. So when he clocked in, I was like, yeah, that early game really made the difference.
And I know that we're about an hour and a half past, but tell us a little bit about your general party composition strategy. What characters do you like to take, and what are you looking for in your loot to decide who you're sticking with?
So this game, this particular seed, I feel like doesn't really showcase what I kind of like to take. Typically, I kind of like to make the decision early on as to whether I'm going to be kind of magic oriented or if I'm going to be physically oriented. And early game, I think at the beginning I had like either 2 or 3 Sids and 2 Yangs at one point. And I can't help myself, by the way, on my screen. I apologize. But like, I'm always up for getting a Tella. Shocker of all shockers! If you saw my last run, because there's versatility there for a good chunk of half the game that I think is a little underestimated. I like using Yang a lot. If I see a Yang, I'm going to keep him as long as I can, because once he's in those upper levels, like past level 30, he becomes very useful. He's not the best tank, but he's fast, especially if you can't find an edge to cheat edge.
One of the things there when it came down to it. What really got Zilch through that was lightning arrows on an elven bow. Just kind of taking a little bit more advantage, and we kind of and Mineral did touch upon it. It comes down to the point where, you know, had you found like a Thunderclaw, you would have been totally fine.
Yep, and that's why I looked through all those weapon shops. I was looking for Thunder, Ice Claws, you know, anything to enhance the Punch Mage, and was not happening this time.
Well, you still played fantastically. You're heading into the 1-1, kind of a morass, big swamp, lots of dangers. You got a lot to watch out for, but you still have a great shot at taking that win and then having, you know, one of those 3 shots to make it into the tables. Is there anyone you're particularly hoping to avoid next week, not including Nightdew?
I'd have to look at the list. There are some names that I know if I saw, I would have to look at the list. I'm not good at remembering the names, but I would know them if I saw them. Zilch was actually one where I saw I was paired up. I was kind of like, oh, okay, this is definitely gonna be a make or break little moment for me, honestly, because I've seen him play a few times. He's very good. They're very good, excuse me. So like it's just a very once I see the name, I'll know. Like if I had the list in front of me, I could tell you.
Gotcha. I mean, it is one thing though. Like no matter who the name is, if you want to win the tournament, you either have to beat them or somebody who beat them, who beat them, who beat them. There's only one way. But still, great play. It's so impressive what a difference even just a little bit of loot can make in a save.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
I do.
No, I mean, just kind of putting that in any given seed, any given time. I mean, nobody is unbeatable. And it's like the whole thing where everybody's like asking, like, you know, who do you want to see? I want to see everybody. Do you want to?
You got the kitten.
So you also have an angry cat, so that's great, or a happy cat maybe.
She wants some attention.
But I've been giving it to you this entire time.
Every restream I've been on with Nightdew, where he's been doing comps, even if I've been on restream, he's been like, "Kitten, do you want to say something?" And Kitten's always like, "No talk." And now finally, everyone who stuck out to the end, well rewarded.
Yes,
good job sticking around, chat. Proud of you.
Yes.
I don't think we have anything to top that. Do you, Flanders?
No, that's I got nothing after that.
No, nothing tops a cat meowing on Discord, I think. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah, GG's to Zilch.
Hey, GG's both of you. Fantastic race. It was really fun to commentate. Nightdew, close us out.
All right, I believe we are going to head over to. We're going to be going into a race in progress, sending everybody over to Randomania. But before that, I do want to thank everybody here. I do want to thank my co-commentator, Venerable, Void Rocket Restream, thank you guys for tracking all that. This isn't possible without everybody doing this, especially as a runner myself. Yeah, gotta thank everybody for all the work that goes into this. It's insane, and I love this community.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.